as the season got underway, I was curious, but not after the first day of spring training. You know, the first day of spring training, you know, I had a pretty good feel about our team's approach and our mindset, which is all you can really control at that point. You know, obviously there are a lot of things have to happen to win in this league. You know, health, good fortune. You got to catch some teams at the right time. You got to win a lot of games. You got to worry about the teams behind you if you're in first. And then you get to the playoffs and you run into a really good team across the way. And we can't say enough positive things about the Indians and what in their season. Congratulate them. And they're a really good team. And I know after a sweep, you know, and we did it pretty convincingly, that takes nothing away from that group over there. But our guys have an uncanny ability to focus on the day. And whether that's at the beginning of the spring, into the season, when we were pushed by our division, the A's, into entering, you know, a playoff series with all the expectations, the target on our back. We're the only, you know, we're the reigning world champs, and we really have a good ability to show up for the day. So proud of our guys, the work they put in the winter. It was a short winter for us, but as you can see, you know, our guys are pretty hungry to advance. Did I wrap it up all in one question? That would have been awesome.
George Springer, since he got back from the DL,
Yeah.
I think had 3 home runs in a month and a half. He's had 3 home runs in about an eye blink since.
Right.
What's going on there?
Well, we had a couple days off, which our guys needed. Once we clinched, he didn't play a ton the last week. He got freshened up a little bit. And, you know, I said this to our team in there, where special teams do special things in October, and I believe that about players. And George is one of them, you know, and there is an extra gear that our guys have. And once we, you know, hit the postseason, it looks like, as of right now, that our guys, you know, really turned it on. So George is a special player. We've seen him, you know, come up as an uber prospect, you know, produce at an uncanny level, hit the lowest of lows in the World Series, and then be the World Series MVP. I don't think this should surprise anyone. He's a really special player.
Which players in the Indians lineup scared you guys the most going in, and how did you do such an effective job of keeping them down? Yeah,
they have a deep lineup, and there's really no let up, and they're tough to match up with their switch hitters. But obviously, it starts with Lindor at the top. I mean, he's very similar to our, you know, George at the top of our order. There's no way to get around him. You know, there's no the first pitch of the game brings anxiety. So. You know, he was an important, and we didn't really control him. He hit the ball out of the ballpark from both sides of the plate. We were able to minimize the people in front of him, the guys at the bottom of the order, when it rolled around, where he only ended up with maybe an at-bat or two with guys on base. Ramirez is not easy. Encarnacion's not easy. We didn't really know what to expect out of Donaldson. And then at the bottom of the order, they can mix and match with switch hitters and lefties, and Kipnis hides at the bottom of the order. And was dangerous, you know, with the pull homer at any point. So Gomes had great at bats. So there's not an easy pocket where you're like, okay, sweet, I can breathe. This is October baseball against a division champion. So you know, Lindor, Brantley, you know, Ramirez, Encarnacion, top 4 is as good as anybody's. And that controlling that group, and not only that, but the group at the bottom of the order before the lineup rolled over was important.
AJ, I remember we talked in spring training about Aaron Boone and your friendship and relationship. What would that experience be like if you got to play him?
Well, I don't want to give him any advice now, him or Cora, for that matter. I've gotten asked a lot about those guys, and honestly, I have no idea what it'll be like. I mean, you know, I'm close with both managers over there. We have players all over the place that have, you know, around the league that we're a close-knit group, and you know, luckily for us, we get 4 or 5 days off to watch how they fight it out to play us. And both men that are leading those clubs are great guys in a position to do some special things as well. So I'll be paying attention.
And Marwin Gonzalez, we don't get to see him every day.
Yep.
But after seeing him every day in these series, how special is this guy?
Yeah, no, he's a unique player because I can put him anywhere. I know I push him into left field because of the makeup of our team, but at any given point on any team, this guy can play, you know, literally 6 positions every day, and you can put him into right and center if you want to. Switch hitter, getting hits from both sides of the plate. He was incredibly good this series. And as I've said earlier, he's the answer to everything. We have a problem, we insert Marwin no matter what, and he stepped up in a huge way.
What was it again about the matchup with their relievers that allowed your hitters to be so successful in the late innings of the series?
You know, we put pressure on the team from the very beginning, and I think, you know, we swing early enough, but yet our selectiveness got better as the year went on. Our at-bat quality got pretty good, and you know, we usually make your pitch. You can't come in and just expect free strikes, and that makes you have to execute from the very beginning. And then when you make a mistake, we were able to honestly, we were able to keep the ball off the ground, and that allowed the ball to get, you know, into the outfield for some extra base hits. We got into hitters counts. The Correa 3-0 homer. You know, Marwin obviously fighting back in the at-bat in Game 2 against Miller. We make you throw strikes, and but we aren't afraid to ambush you. So that creates a little bit of a dilemma from pitch one for a reliever.
Hey, given the back and forth between Bauer and some of the guys on your team this summer, was there any discussion of that going in? There'd be a little extra there to beat the Indians?
We don't need anything extra. It's October. We want to win the World Series. We don't. Trevor Bauer had a great year. You know, I got to see him at the All-Star game. I know when he got hurt, that was tough for him to miss. But you're the first person that I've had a discussion about Trevor Bauer with. Is that right? About Trevor Bauer with. That's right. I want to make sure it's. You know, the way the game started, I wanted Clevenger out as fast as possible. He was striking everybody out. But the pitch count started to go a little bit. Our bats got good, and we had runners on base 8 out of the 9 innings. He went through us, I think, in the 4th inning. But so we knew if we could put some pressure on him, then they created some matchup issues. I knew I had White and Gaddis on the bench to pinch hit. You know, bringing Martin in. So we knew how that we were going to play the game once you know they had to make a decision going right or left. But honestly, none of the matchup stuff worked for us. You know, they came in, Whitey punched out, Gaddy struck out. So we knew putting pressure on them, the sense of urgency being up 2-0 was going to create some issues for them, just from an anxiousness and anxiety standpoint. But you know, our goal was to get to Clevenger's fastball. We didn't do it early, and then we got some pitches to hit late, a couple hanging breaking balls. George hit the homer. And we started to build that pitch count up, and that anytime you got to ask your bullpen, I don't care how good it is, to get that many outs, you feel like it's advantage offense.
Yeah, you know, I think in that situation, I was at a reserve my first two at bats, and I told myself, you know, I got to go get something to hit and not miss it, because it's hard to hit in this league behind in the count. So I told myself, you know, to go get something to hit and, you know, hit it hard. And then honestly, I don't know. I just you know, trying to hit the ball hard, and whatever happens. I mean, it's not about the personal stuff here. It's about the team. So I'll take it.
Fall season, man.
Yeah, I think it's.
He hit 7 last year.
Yeah,
you surprised?
I think it's. I just think it's one of those times where, you know, the lights get brighter, the stage gets a little bit bigger, and I think guys tend to concentrate more. You know, you hone in on stuff, and I don't know. I'm not going to complain about it. You know, I'm happy that it happened.
Marwin, I'm going to ask you to talk about your teammate while he's sitting next to you, but just watching him, what he did last year in the postseason and now in this division series, just being his teammate and seeing how he comes through in October, what does that mean for you?
Oh, it means a lot. We are expecting a lot when he goes out to play in the postseason. Not that we don't expect it during the season, but you guys know what he did last year in the postseason. He's a super Springer. He showed this series 3 homers in 3 games, and that's what he is capable to do in postseason.
For both of you guys, I'm wondering in an elimination game what it's like to stand on the field and watch a stadium disperse, empty out toward the end of a game, what you start to feel, when you start to feel like, okay, we accomplished this?
I mean, I remember a game here in early May when, you know, we were up 5 and that they scored 5 to tie it in the 9th. So I think for me it's when the game was finally over, because with the lineup those guys have, this game is not over until it's over. And yeah, it's a great feeling to watch this stand slowly empty, and to see a lot more orange in the stands. But that just means that our team, I think, did our job and kind of controlled what our team could control.
Yeah, exactly that. I was in the 8 on defense, and I was like, oh, we're winning by 8, but at the same time, you see the line out on the board, and then you know that they can do damage. And they did it against us early in the season. So I was a little more calm in the last inning, and even then, they got back-to-back base hits, but you never know, especially in postseason. You got to play until the last out.
Your double, that it felt like it broke the game open, and it was a gorgeous at bat and a gorgeous hit. Can you carry me through that at bat?
Well, I don't know if it was a gorgeous swing. It was an ugly swing, but I was lucky enough to keep it first and get the lead by that time. But yeah, I just wanted to do in that at bat was at least get a fly ball and then bring a run and then get the lead. Everybody knows what Bauer can do on the mound. He's a really good pitcher. But again, I was lucky enough to keep the ball fair. I didn't know until my teammate behind me was yelling at me like go go go. But I mean that was game, and I'm happy to contribute in any point to win a game.
With Bauer and Donaldson, the Indians are obviously having a lot of guys coming back from late injuries in the season. Did you guys think they were at their best going into this?
I think so. I don't see why anybody in the postseason isn't going to be at their best. I think it doesn't matter if you're hurt the whole year or hurt the last week. I think guys tend to find a way to be at their best at this point in time, and those are two outstanding players. But both have a history of being successful in this game. I mean, they're all stars, they're MVPs. So it's I think for our team to come in here and play our game against a very, very just great team over there. A quality lineup with a great staff. I think it says a lot about our team and what our team was able to do.